We still continue with the 12 volts solar panel. If you look at the nameplates of a 12 volt solar panel, some manufacturers might choose to write it 12 volts so that it will be easy for end users to know that that is a 12 volt solar panel. But that does not mean that when you expose the solar panel to the sun, it will generate 12 volts. No, it is called 12 volts because we use it to on 12 volt solar components. It is called 12 volts because you use it with a 12 volt solar charge controller. It is called 12 volt because you will need to use it with a 12 volt inverter. It is called 12 volts because you need it to charge a 12 volt battery. But in reality, the voltage is more than 12 volts. If a solar panel is exactly 12 volts or 24 volts, as you may think, for a 12 volts or a 24 volt solar panel at open circuit voltage. We will talk about open circuit voltage. Open circuit voltage is the voltage that this solar panel will generate when it is not connected to any load. So if this solar panel is 12 volts at open circuit voltage, it will not be able to charge this solar battery. A scenario is if if you are fighting with somebody that the power is less, or if you are fighting with a smaller creature, maybe somebody that is of a lower age with you will be able to overpower that person. The same thing is applicable here. If this solar panel is the same 12 volts with this solar battery, when you connect this solar panel with this solar battery, there is going to be a voltage drop. There is certainly going to be a voltage drop when you connect the solar battery with the solar panel. So this 12 volt solar panel will not be able to charge this 12 volt solar battery if it is 12 volts, that is the same rating with this solar battery. Then that means this voltage will not be able to track the load that will be connected to it or to them. As such, the voltage of a 12 volt solar panel, that is the output voltage, must be higher than that of this solar battery or this solar inverter for it to adequately charge this solar battery. That is what is happening. As such, a 12 volt solar panel with 36 cells, I've already said that this is, if you count the cells here, it is 36 with 0.5 volts. I've said that this is, each of the cell here is 0.5. For each of the cell is between 17 to 21 volts. I've already said that. If you measure the voltage of this 12 volts solar panel you see it 17 to 21 depending on the intensity of the sun at open circuit voltage. That will be the only scenario in which it will be able to adequately charge this solar battery. And for a 24 volts, when we get to a 24-volt solar panel, you get a better explanation to this. So when we are considering a 24-volt solar panel, the voltage, the cell arrangement might be 60 cells, 72 cells. So and each of the cell equally is rated 0.5. And when you expose it to the sun, you see a voltage range of about 36 to 50 volts at open circuit voltage, and that will be the voltage that will be able to charge a 24-volt system adequately. So that is the reason you hear us say that this solar panel is a 12-volt solar panel, because it will be used to charge a 12-volt solar battery, and it will be used on a 12-volt solar charge controller and on a 12-volt solar inverter. That is the reason we are saying that panel is a 12-volt solar panel. If you join us in a master class, we'll get to understand what we call the nominal voltage of an inverter. So that voltage that you are seeing is the nominal voltage of the solar panel. We have already said that is the number of solar cells in a particular solar panel can be less than 36 cells. It can be more than 36 cells as the case may be. It can be 36 cells, it can be 42 cells, 48 cells, it can be 60 cells for the 24-volt solar panels. It can be 90 cells and above that. That means a solar panel consisting of 32 cells typically can produce between 14.72 volt. That is the open circuit voltage. Each is 0.5 or 0.45. If you approximate this, you have 0.5 volts. Each of the cell will produce that. And when you multiply that, it gives you a range of 14 point or 15 point something to 21 volts. That is the reason we say that panel is a 12-volt panel. We are going to do justice to a 24-volt solar panel so that you understand why we say that solar panels are based on voltage. Your solar panel can either be a 12-volt solar panel or a 24-volt solar panel. Join me in our next module.